Since 1999, the Shinnyo-en Buddhist order has held a one-of-a-kind event on Memorial Day in Honolulu, Hawaii. Created as a way for people of all faiths to collectively honor and express appreciation, gratitude, and remembrance to those who've passed, the Hawaii Lantern Floating's theme of Many Rivers, One Ocean celebrates the diversity of our cultures, beliefs, and perspectives. Each year, the event attracts thousands of participants of different faiths from Hawaii and around the world. Mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, grandchildren, close friends. This year, approximately 50,000 people came together with a common purpose of sending messages and prayers to the spirits of loved ones no longer with us. In the spirit of creating greater understanding across faiths, Shinnyo-en Foundation invited 8 leaders from different religious and cultural backgrounds to participate in the 2014 Hawaii Lantern Floating. For these interfaith leaders, it was a chance to experience an event unlike anything from their own culture or religious practice. For Shinnyo-en Foundation, it was a chance to gain insight into the guests' religions and cultures through their observations and reflections.
None of us have really seen it in real life. We've heard a lot about it. We've witnessed it on the internet. And so I think there's a lot of excitement just to kind of see it come to fruition.
Each faith leader was given a lantern of their own. Some chose to write messages for ancestors and loved ones who've passed, and others shared prayers for the well-being of those left behind.
I have lost many people who are dear to me. Even years have not been able to close the wounds completely. So this experience not only helps me remember, it feels to me that it helps with my own healing process.
You know, one of the prayers that I had written down were for all the people who lost their parents, and that they have a sense of peace and closure in their lives, and that for the parents who have deceased, to know that the ones who are here and alive, that they're doing okay as well.
After preparing their lanterns, the group moved to the seating area to watch the ceremony's cultural celebration. Following the colorful but solemn ceremony, Her Holiness Shinso-ito rang a bell signaling to the guests and others that it was time to light their lanterns. While the act of floating one's lantern is traditionally meant to console the spirits of the deceased and symbolize our remembrance and love for them, the act had different meanings for each of the participants.
saying is many rivers, one ocean. And they've managed a ritual that enacts that motto perfectly, because as you wade in to the water, you're one person with your own grief, your own loss, your own loved ones in your heart and on your lantern, and yet there's thousands of people around you doing the same thing. And so you are one person, one river, with many people moving into one ocean.
If this ritual is not only to bring together the 50,000 that stood on the beach, but also all of the spirits of the loved ones who have passed before us into the great mystery of the beyond. Something very comforting to me is to imagine that my father had an opportunity to meet possibly with some of the Japanese soldiers that he encountered as a member of the Navy in 1942 and 1943 when he was in the South Seas. And if perhaps they ended up finding a way to reconcile and maybe even become friends.
One way, we are remembering, but we are also almost trying to go with them in the water, as if we wanted to join our loved ones in the journey.
In a time where people are mourning and people are trying to find closure, that's a very individual journey for everyone. But in that moment, everyone just came together and came to find that closure and felt so comfortable being able to express those emotions.
That one lantern merging with so many others, and to feel that connection between us, among us, because of our being there and because of the experiences that we have had, was very touching. It was something that, while I understand that the idea of the lantern floating is to provide consolation to the souls of those who have died, I felt consolation for my soul as well.
What this was an uplifting, enlightening experience from the standpoint of my heritage, of ancestry, of persecution throughout the ages. And what this really showed me was that the humanity has a better side to it. There's goodness in everyone, and if we can work together, we'll be able to find it and take it forward into a better world.
I'd say that I was left with a sense of peace. And that crystallized when Her Holiness had the boat ride right through the lanterns, because then you go, okay, these individuals that have departed now have the Buddha in them. And so that finally brought the level of peace.
While each of these faith leaders had their own unique perspective about the experience, they walked away with a better understanding of Shinnyo-en and of each other. As the theme Many Rivers, One Ocean suggests, we can unite in the common goals of compassion and peace by acknowledging and respecting the diversity of cultures, beliefs, and perspectives. By sharing these faith leaders' perspectives about the lantern floating, we can all gain a greater understanding of each other and take one step closer to peace for all.